No.
But going back to what you said,
Yeah.
you're saying that no, when Muhammad asked forgiveness for his sins, it does not mean it in the way that we understand it
Yes,
today.
yeah.
However, let's have a look at some hadith.
What hadith?
So I want to look at Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim.
Yeah.
And I want to look, it's Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim 2659a.
Yes.
So it says here, the mother of every person gives him birth according to his true nature. It is subsequently his parents who make him a Jew, a Christian. Had his parents been Muslim, he would have remained a Muslim. Every person to whom his mother gives birth, the two aspects of life, when his mother gives birth, Satan strikes him, but it was not the case with Mary and her son, Jesus Christ.
Muhammad.
So even Muhammad. No, never says Muhammad. Muhammad is not mentioned. The only people.
I can give you another
No.
hadith. You pick and choose. I can give
This
you.
is Sahih hadith.
Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim.
Sahih Muslim.
Even I can give you another Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim.
So the
that-
Sahih contradicts. They contradict.
What you are doing. This example, Prophet
I'm
Muhammad.
reading Sahih Muslim to you.
I can give you Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim that Prophet Muhammad also never sinned. Never sinned.
But this one is saying,
Quran says,
no,
وَإِنَّكَ
this
لَعَلَى-
hadith is saying that there are only two people who have never been struck by Satan when they're
Show
born.
me the order.
That is
Show me the
Mary
Arabic.
and
Show me the
her
Arabic.
son
Show me the
Jesus.
Arabic and I'll say there is only or not. Show me the Arabic.
Let's get it up in sunnah.com.
Read the Arabic out loud, please.
No.
So who are the two people? Does it include Muhammad?
Come on.
Let me read it. Let me read it. First of all, this is against you. In what sense? What you are doing, you are.
I
He says
appreciate it.
every
To be
look.
honest.
Every child born sinless. You agree according to this? Yes or no? Let us do it step by step.
No. It says
in the beginning.
that Satan strikes them at birth.
From the
And
beginning,
the only
what's
two
it?
people
What-
who do that doesn't apply to.
Look, I read it.
Listen,
From the
listen.
beginning, it says every child born sinless.
No.
No, it's
No,
born,
no, 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 no,
gives him birth
no,
according to
no.
his true nature.
Whoever
It is
is
subsequently his
Adam's
parents
seed,
to make him a Jew, a Christian,
So
or a
So his
Muslim.
parents making him either Jew or
Right,
Christian. Yeah, so
right,
he's born
right.
sinless.
Right. It doesn't say sinless. What it says is that they are born in a state of fitra.
Fitra,
to
what
which
is fitra? Yes, what
which
is
then,
fitra?
but again,
What is fitra?
has Satan struck
What
them?
is fitra?
Has
According-
Satan struck them?
No.
It says here, listen, the only
says
people,
fitra.
when his mother gave birth, Satan struck him, but it was not the case with Mary and her son
Even
Jesus.
Muhammad,
So even Muhammad was struck by Satan.
Now,
The hadith found in Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim 2659a presents the Islamic theological view of the human condition at birth. The Arabic text states, ما من مولود يولد إلا يمسه الشيطان حين يولد فيستهل صارخا من مسه إياه إلا مريم وابنها, which literally means, there is no child born but that Satan touches him when he is born, so he cries out because of Satan's touch except for Mary and her son. The expression begins with the Arabic construction, ma min mauludin illa, a grammatical form known as wa istithna, universal statement followed by an exception. Textually, this means that the declaration every human being is touched by Satan includes all of humanity without exception, followed by a single exclusive exemption, Mary and her son Jesus. The phrase illa Maryam wa ibnaha closes the door to any additional exceptions, because in classical Arabic grammar, illa indicates finality within the statement. Therefore, based on the linguistic rule of this structure, Muhammad himself is included among those touched by Satan at birth. Etymologically, the word yamasuhu comes from the root massa, meaning to touch, to affect, or to be influenced by something. In Quranic and hadith usage, massa often carries a spiritual or moral nuance, not merely physical contact. For instance, in Quran 2:275 it says, those who are struck by Satan's touch, al-mas. Here, the word al-mas doesn't simply mean a physical touch. It carries a deeper meaning, a spiritual disturbance, an inner corruption, a sign of being influenced by evil itself. Interestingly, the text itself highlights that the only exceptions to this universal condition are Mary and her son. Classical commentators such as Ibn Hajar al-Asqalan in Fath al-Bari and al-Nawawi in Ṣaḥīḥ Muslim interpret this touch of Satan as the first moment of demonic temptation, explaining why newborns cry. Both agree that there is no indication whatsoever that Muhammad was exempt. Ibn Hajar further notes that a baby's cry symbolizes the frailty of human nature at birth, a vulnerability from which only Mary and Jesus were divinely protected.
Look what he's doing. It says clearly in the hadith, every child born with fitra. You are ignoring this.
For 40 years, Muhammad was a sinner.
No.
Muhammad was a sinner
Prove
for
it.
40 years.
How? He was
Because
sinner?
he was a pagan.
He wasn't. He
He
never
was
worshipped a
worshipping
pagan.
his
He never-
parents' deity.
No,
His
no,
parents'
no,
deity.
no, no,
So he
no.
was,
How do
he
you
was
know that?
worshipping the same way.
All right, it's something innocent. It's something innocent. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 3330. The Prophet said, "But for the Israelis, meat would not decay, and but for Eve, wives would not betray their husbands."
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like some sort of original sin.
No.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Wait, so
No,
because
I-
of Eve,
I have
men
to
now
check-
betray their wives.
I have to check.
Sorry,
whether-
no, wives would now betray their husbands.
No.
Read it with it. There you go. There it is. Muslims, if you want to check this out with me, it's Sahih al-Bukhari 3330.
3330.
Yeah,
Hadith
bring it up on the screen.
3330, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What does
So,
it say?
but for Eve, wives would never betray their husbands. In other words, because of what Eve did, now women betray their husbands.
I don't accept this hadith because against Quran.
There you are then. There you are
Against
then.
Quran.
You've just rejected the Sunnah.
For me, Quran is the authority. Allah
rejecting
says,
the hadith.
فَأَزَلَّهُمَا
Are you Quran
الشَّيْطَانُ.
only? Are you Quran only?
No, I'm Quran and hadith, but
But not this hadith.
I don't know.
Not
about
Sahih
the
al-Bukhari.
But because our main authority is the Quran. So Quran says, فَأَزَلَّهُمَا الشَّيْطَانُ. Shaitan whispered on both of them, Adam and Eve, not only Hawa. Yes.
Right.
So it's
So because of Eve, women now betray their husbands.
no,
In fact, it actually says because of the Israelis,
No.
meat now decays.
no.
That's bizarre, but that's
So
what
I
it says.
answered you. I answered you about the sin that Prophet Muhammad is
Yeah, you
saying.
haven't given any answer.
I answered you.
No, your answer is I don't accept it. Fair
Up
enough,
to
you
you,
don't accept
up
it.
to
There you
you.
are then. Yeah,
But
that's
there is
fine.
an answer.
There are plenty of Muslims that do accept Sahih al-Bukhari.
No,
Because they know that it's
I
a
tell
sunnah.
you, Prophet Muhammad was sinless.
Not according to the Quran.
According وكان على خلق عظيم.
You went to the hadith to
No, no, no,
describe
I'll give you
that.
Quran now.
Yeah,
وكان على خلق عظيم.
This is what
وكان
we are
على
supposed
خلق
to do.
عظيم.
It's 48:2.
Was that the
He's given you a victory,
Sahih Bukhari.
so that God may forgive you your past and future
Oh, let's have a look. Let's read it out loud.
Yeah.
So this is Surah 48, Ayah 2. I think it might, but anyway. Forgive you your past and future sins. That's Muhammad.
past sins.
Past and future
Explain
sins.
to you, because whatever he will do, he will not be able to pay back the blessing God's giving him. That's why
Where do you
he's
get that from?
asking
Where
forgiveness.
do you get that? Do you get that from the Quran?
Scholars say this. And the Quran
Was it
says,
Sayyid, the scholar earlier? Was it what he
the
said?
Quran says, وَكَانَ عَلَى خُلُقٍ وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ
God
عَظِيم.
has to forgive.
Quran says he's sinless.
Listen. Muhammad is a man. You understand this?
Yeah, he's
and
a
he's
man.
not God. He
He's
is
not
a
God.
man.
He's a prophet, of
So
course.
as every man, like every man here,
No.
we sometimes err. We sometimes
But
sin.
Muhammad, no, he's sinless.
Your Quran in Surah Al-Miliam, Ayah 19 says Jesus was a pure
Was
son.
Muhammad better than
And the
Musa?
hadith says that Jesus was never struck by Satan, but Muhammad
He
was.
did, he did. He did. According to your Bible, he did.
Better than Musa?
Satan tempted him.
No, I don't think
Satan tested him.
Without sin.
Muhammad was better than
Calling a lady, you are a dog, not a sin.
Wait.
Calling
Is
a lady-
temptation a sin?
Muhammad
Is temptation a
was
sin?
not better
Yes,
than
for
Daud.
God's sin.
Okay,
because he's a dog.
wait. So was Muhammad sinning when he lusted after Zaynab?
No, he wasn't.
In his own, my days. We all know the story.
Jesus
He
sinned.
saw
Look,
Zaynab in a
Jesus
compromised
sinned.
state
called the
and
lady
he
God.
lusted
Look,
after her.
Jesus was a
So much
racist.
so that he had to withdraw from that because he knew he was lusting after her.
No, he wasn't after her. That's
Did he marry Zaynab?
because
Did he marry Zaynab?
there is a reason. You have to know the reason. You know the reason.
So he did marry Zaynab. Did
In his
Zayd
heart, he
divorce
said.
Zaynab?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Following up. Is Zaynab,
Can you give me an answer?
daughter of Prophet Muhammad, yes or no?
As far as I'm aware, no.
That's it. She was adopted daughter. So the no,
What are you on about? What's this got to do with what I'm talking about?
it does because
Yeah, it was the
back
wife of adopted son. Zayd was the adopted son of Muhammad.
That's right.
And Muhammad made Zayd divorce Zaynab.
That's right.
Therefore, Muhammad took Zaynab from
Yes.
Zayd.
Yes.
His
right.
adopted
No,
son.
That's right.
Zayd would have been referred to as Zayd ibn Muhammad.
Because
But that
Allah
was
wants to-
changed based off what Muhammad
Allah-
declared.
The main issue is not about who Zaynab was to Muhammad biologically, but rather why his action required direct intervention from divine revelation to justify it. In Surah Al-Ahzab 33:37, Allah is said to have commanded Muhammad to marry her after Zayd divorced her, supposedly to abolish the practice of adoption. Yet behind that social explanation, the Quranic text itself reveals a clear moral tension. The verse openly admits that Muhammad was hiding something in his heart which Allah was about to make known. Wa takhfa fa nafsika ma Allahu mubda. Linguistically, the verb takfa comes from the Arabic root khafa, which means to hide, to conceal, or to cover up something known to be true. This indicates an inner hesitation or desire being suppressed, not an act done in pure obedience free from personal motive. So when Muslims argue that there was no sin because Zaynab was not his biological daughter, that defense misses the real point. If Muhammad were truly Masum, sinless and faultless, why does the Quran portray God rebuking him for hiding what was in his heart? If the marriage had been a purely moral command, there would have been no need for such a defensive revelation or for God to vindicate the action afterward. The very existence of that verse functions as an ex post facto justification, suggesting an attempt to legitimize a controversial event that had already provoked public scandal in early Islamic society. Even more troubling is that by abolishing the system of adoption, tabani, Islam dismantled a deeply moral and universally respected institution, the compassion of taking in and giving status to orphans. The Quran replaced the familial father-child relationship with a mere brotherhood in faith, stripping adopted children of inheritance and social standing. From a Christian perspective, this represents a moral regression. Compassion toward orphans should be elevated, not nullified in the name of preserving genealogical purity. A sharp apologetic reading must highlight this theological irony. In attempting to protect lineage purity, Islam created a deeper moral paradox, a prophet marrying his adopted son's ex-wife, only to have the act divinely sanctioned afterward. In this light, the claim that Muhammad did not sin because Zaynab was not his daughter fails to resolve the deeper contradiction. The Quran itself records the rebuke, the justification, and the rationalization, all of which would have been unnecessary if his action had truly been innocent from the start.